Welcome to yet another episode of the Expat Corridor. Today we are here with a very well-known couple in the Indian community, Dwaipayan and Moulisa. Thank you for welcoming us into your house.
Thanks for having us in your show.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So, as I said at the introduction, you are very well known in the community, at least in the Indian community.
You're being, no. I think you're exaggerating.
No, not at all. So, as I was saying in the introduction, you're very well known in the Indian community. I think a lot of it is also in part of the role that you play in an organization that does social work, that does Durga Puja. We'll come back to it in a bit, but let's start with a little bit about you coming to the Netherlands. Tell us a little bit about how you ended up here in the Netherlands. It's a question to both of you, so either of you can answer.
You want to start?
Yeah. So we came to Netherlands in 2011. And it was mainly because of work. So we were settled in the US before that, and then our work took us here, and here we are. But we both traveled for work in different periods. So I was a bit earlier than her, and she came a couple of months after me.
So you've lived in the US too?
No. I haven't lived in the US.
Okay.
So he had come back from the US for marriage. And then after that, the plan was that we both go back to the US. But that didn't happen because he made kind of like a sacrifice, but it was actually for the good cause, which I realize right now. So I was just a fresher out of university. And then he said, you rather establish yourself, so gain some experience, and only then we can switch. And he was already quite experienced at that moment. So he just, resigned from the job from India, right after, I guess, 5 days after the marriage.
Yeah, something like this.
Yeah. And then we were settled in Pune, and then I got the opportunity for the on-site, and then he too. So somehow, things clicked.
Okay.
God probably wanted that. So we are both quite ardent believers of fate, and somehow we landed up in the Netherlands.
Very nice. But do you have like this unfulfilled desire to having lived in the US?
No, not at all. So I'm super glad that I have chosen the Netherlands as the place to be in. So I have got a lot of relatives living in the US, and my very own dear cousin, so she's like my own sister, she lives there. And looking at her and the work-life balance,
Sure.
I'm pretty sure I never would have ever wanted to be in the US.
Makes sense. What about you, DN?
So for me, it's a mixed feeling, right? So I stayed in US for roughly 5 years or so. And for me, of course, US is the place of consumerism. You get to shop a lot, you get to live in big houses. But once we traveled here and kind of got settled here, I realized that this is a completely different place, right? The social structure is very, very close and closely knit. Of course, you might not have all the luxuries, or let's say not as big as in US, but also still like I like the feeling of living close to your neighbors, able to talk to people. And also we were lucky that we were able to find really some good friends around us. So that kept us moving, and then at some point we were also doing a bit of community work in and around this place. So that kind of took all of this together and then made it a really nice place for us to live in.
Well, that's good to hear. But when people talk about the Netherlands, at least for people like us who have lived in the Netherlands for a while, there are these two things that we typically talk about, right? One is the healthcare system. Mm-hmm. So given the fact that you have experienced a different healthcare system in the US, what's your feeling about the healthcare system here in the Netherlands?
So let's say, for example, in US, right? So a lot of people say that US healthcare is really expensive. So that's of course is there. But then the healthcare is also pretty, if you can afford it, the healthcare is pretty nice there, right? Here, I think when we came in, to me, it's more looks like a socialist setup, right? So healthcare, you pay a certain fee, and then everything else is taken care of. But I think for most of us, at least in this age group, for small things when we go to the doctors, right? So we can only approach, let's say, a GP, which is more like a house physician here. And then typically that's a joke that we joke around as well here, that the house physicians only like fit for everything, let's say with a standard paracetamol, or tell us that no medicines are needed, come back after a few weeks if it's not recovered by then.
Right.
So we feel that coming from an Indian mindset, right, that where for everything there's medicines and checks and whatnot, sometimes we feel that for the initial response is not that great. And of course there are scenarios where we both have been to specialists and they're superb, right? So I feel that they have a completely different level of treatment and stuff, but then the initial response we feel is not that, like, at least we are not still convinced, right? For small things, when we have been, let's say for our kid also, the standard response was treat him with a paracetamol, treat him with a standard ibuprofen, but nothing more than that.
Okay.
Yeah, paracetamol is supposed to be the magic drug that cures one and everything. And quite strangely, actually, I come from a house of doctors. So like throughout, it's my brother, my dad used to be a doctor, my grandfather, my great grandfather, so like that entire chain. And when Dishan was born, so both my dad and mom were here. My dad almost had a heart attack looking at how I was being treated by the medical system here. So he was like, I can't imagine how, being such a developed country, can they make you endure the pain. I mean, yes, it is all natural, that's all good, but that was before the medical system came up, So
Right.
medicine, according to him, was created in order to relieve people out of pain. But so I found such a huge contrast to like how we were brought up and like back in India, how the thought process is. But now, after living here for over a decade, I think we are also kind of molded into the system. I try not to take any kind of drugs at all until it is like at quite the the last stage. And it somehow, I guess, also helps with the immunity. It does really. So yeah, it's like all in all, overall, we are not sure, but it's always that slight bit of tension which always keeps on coming. What if the doctor is really taking it too lightly? What if he finds something the next day, So, but that's life.
Sure. So you've begun to appreciate sort of the Dutch healthcare system.
Way
And for the record, when you mention drugs, it's like medicines, right?
Exactly.
So just to be
It's
very sure.
medicines. Yeah,
Just to be very sure.
To be sure, yeah. It's not the coffee shop drugs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Though it's completely legal in this part of the world. That's not what you were referring to. But you mentioned Dishan being born. So Dishan is how old now?
He's 8.
He's 8.
Yeah.
And he goes to a Dutch school, an international school?
He goes to a Dutch school, and that was like our main motive, that we are like the first generation. So we are the first generation of expats. We don't want our kid to be treated as an expat.
Right.
So he has to grow here, so that's why he needs to have his own circle of friends, be in the system, be fluent in Dutch, and be like a Dutch man.
You stole my thunder because that was my question. Why did you choose the Dutch school over the international? You already answered it, so I won't ask that question. No, so you have a reasoning behind
Yes.
being in a Dutch school.
A very valid reasoning. We have gone over this multiple times. It was a very, very difficult choice. And I think he had enrolled him to both the schools, one also in an international school as well as a Dutch school. And then I guess just about a week prior to him hitting his fourth birthday, so
Right.
that's the time that you were asked to go to the school. Just a week prior to that, we decided no, so this is it. Our reasoning for the Dutch school actually scored a lot higher than what we had for the international.
Okay, so which means that, I mean, if I have to take some implications out of it, if I have to infer something out of it, it means that you probably plan to make the Netherlands your home for the foreseeable future, at least.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we balanced out a bit, right? So we were thinking that so there are consequences of both choices. For example, if you go to an international school with your sort of education, you can help the kid a bit, right? And then the kid is probably able to go out and then study somewhere else, anywhere. And that typically people does when they have plans to travel, right? So, and then we thought that we are going to stay here long term. So why don't the kid integrate with the local population here, right? So that was one of course the downside of that was we don't speak Dutch in our home, which means that the vocabulary of the kid doesn't develop as it would develop for a native speaker, right? So those are the consequences, but then we still thought that it's still good for him that he can have his friends and he can integrate with them, and as he grows up he will have friends for life, and so that was the main thought process.
Perfect. And I myself don't have kids, so for me this is not a decision that I make. But from what I hear from friends is that the Dutch education system is difficult to understand in the sense that they have these different sort of levels.
Yeah.
Or different things that happen at the same level. So again, I won't be able to explain it, but is it something that you understand as somebody's child who's going to go up to that system?
A bit, right? So not I am not an expert by any means, but let's say for example, here the system is that based on your child's performance, and the performance is captured throughout his class participation over a period of years. There's CETO test that happens every year from a certain age, and then all of this gives the child a kind of a overall, I should not say a score, but let's say overall merit, right? Based on which they are being automatically placed into, there's certain categories. There's VO, there's HVO, there's MVO, right? So based on that, they will go to a certain set. Let's say, for example, if the child has performed well throughout this period and throughout all of this test good in maths and science, he is probably more likely to go towards the HVO. Whereas the child, let's say he was not so good in these areas, but let's say was kind of fair in the language side of it, he will probably have a different choice. So let's say the choices is unlike in India, where let's say if you want your kid to go to engineering school, you pay a big sum of money and then he can go to a private school. That probably can still happen, but within the normal setup of this country, it doesn't happen. So you are being placed based on your merit, and everything is kind of within the educational system, right? So it's not that you can choose your kid to go to a medical school by paying some money. That's not going to happen very easy.
And do you think that this system is more justified than the system back home in India, which you explained, which is probably also similar to the system in US or other parts of the world? So you feel that this system is more justified?
I think the system is unbiased, right? In terms of it gives equal opportunity to everybody, right? So of course, let's say coming from an Indian mindset, sometimes it's difficult because it can happen that if your child doesn't perform on a particular area or there are a few years of bad patch, and then it's difficult to bring him to where you would want him to. Let's say, for example, we think about being engineers and doctors is the ultimate goal. So it might not happen and you have to live with that fact. And whereas if in India, I would have still spent a bit of money and have him go to a private school, he might suck there, but still he will come back as a bad engineer.
Right, right. Because my sense is that, I understand that they sort of do it on merit, but that doesn't always depict the aptitude of the person,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
So I miss that because it is possible that somebody didn't have the scores, but has the aptitude or has the liking for a particular line of career, I would say, but they don't have the opportunity to do that. So that's where I see that there's probably a gap, but you feel it's more justified. So that's good to hear. On another topic around this, because you mentioned that you see your long-term future here in the Netherlands or for the foreseeable future. You bought a house in the Netherlands, so there is something that grounds you here. How was your experience buying a house in the Netherlands? Is it something that's easy, not so easy?
Super easy. Okay. So there are two parts of it. One is finding your house, finding the dream house that you want, and the other is going to the transactional part of it. The transactional part is super easy, right? So it's you don't have to. So in India, typically you would go to a high court and do a registration, and then you will get a physical paper and all. Everything is kind of digital here, and you go to a notary. The notary is the trusted partner between the seller and the buyer. And the notary handles everything from your finances to bank loan to all the paperwork, and everything is digitally captured, logged into a system, and then you can get an extract as many times as you want, right? So it's the transactional part is super easy. Now the buying part is not as easy, right? So here we have to understand there's a demand supply part, and then Amsterdam and Netherlands is a small country. Amsterdam is a city of Netherlands where a lot of people wants to come in. There's huge amount of expats. There's a lot of investments coming from various countries like Japan, China, India, right? So there's a huge demand for houses, and the house prices have spiked over the last few years. So it's really difficult to find a house that you like in the budget that you have. So that's a completely different topic. So there's makelas, or let's say agents who help you find a house. But the finding of a house is a really difficult part. Let's say when we got this house, it was a new property, and typically new properties are not that common, unlike India where people go to a new apartment. Here everything, the space is limited, so everything is probably most of the part is already developed, so people move into houses which are already built.
Right.
We chose to move to a new building, and we had to wait a lot, but we also had to go through the process of applying for it, and then there was lottery to get this apartment. So it was a process.
And do you think that, I mean, I wouldn't say advise, but would you recommend people to buy a house in the Netherlands or just rent it out?
100% buying. Renting is the more expensive option. Let's say if you're really here for a short-term outlook, with a short-term outlook, renting is fine, because rentals are really expensive in this area. Of course, you can go to a bit in the suburban, a bit far from the main cities, what we call as Randstad. You can probably get a good rental, but let's say if you want to stay in the city, the rentals are really expensive. And then I think given the low interest rate and the ease of the transactional part, so which means that probably you can, if you buy one, you can also it's easy to sell one also. So I think buying is a better, to me at least, a better option. That interest rate is super low in
Right.
most parts, right? So when I bought my house, I got an interest rate around 1.7 or something.
Oh, that's
Right, so that was really low, and then yeah, so even when things are on the higher side, you will probably end up 3.5, 4, 4.5. So it's still low compared
Right.
to other places. So buying is a better option to me.
So congratulations on that great interest rate that you've captured. But also congratulations on having such a beautiful house. I don't know if you are the master decorator of the house or if it's Moulisa. So I would have to believe it's her, but I don't know.
No. It's a very much combined effort. And I think he has this through his mom. So my mom-in-law is an architect. And an interior designer, so he does have a really good sense of the interior. But yes, mostly also from me. But for example, this aquarium, that's completely something that he wanted to, and he just made sure that it is somehow being developed. So I remember that the contractors were actually not very sure because it had to be fixed in the wall, so they were also doing a lot of calculations. But then the end goal was, do it whatever you need, but you need to have that up. So yeah, overall it's a combined one, right?
Yes.
I'm glad you talked about the aquarium, because that's the first thing that sort of strikes when you enter your house. So and I haven't seen that in many houses in the Netherlands. I've seen them a lot in India, where you have, as you mentioned, bigger houses, probably in the US too. So this is new for me for the Netherlands. So great job, great
This
job.
was a childhood dream of mine, to have an aquarium like that. And we really had to, as Moulisa mentioned, really had to calculate, because it wasn't easy. It's a built-in aquarium, so built inside the walls. So we have to create another wall and then take the measurements, cut out both the walls to make sure the aquarium can go inside, make inlets for the aquarium. This aquarium completely works by itself. You don't have to maintain it regularly. You put the foods in the feeder, and it has got temperature sensor, and it has got oxygen coming out of a device. It has got automatic feeders, so it's almost works in automated mode.
Interesting. I think for the viewers, maybe we should give a shot of the aquarium. Maybe not now, but in a bit, so that they get inspiration from what the two of you have done.
Sure.
So you come. I guess you have some sort of this creative streak or creative genes in you. And Moulisa, I hear that you are a professional dancer. Or well, semi-professional dancer.
Exactly.
Because you work full time and you dance
This is my
part-time.
passion. But yeah, exactly.
Tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, sure. So I'm a trained dancer. I started dancing in India since the age of 4, and I have taken part in a lot of different programs back in India. And it was mainly, I would say, taking me as a kid to multiple different such dance schools. I would say it's completely, I'm very much thankful to my mom who did all those years, because now if I have to do the same with Dishan for one single piano lesson, I get so mad. But she took me for, I guess, more than 12 consecutive years in 3 different places across different parts of the city. So I'm a trained Kathak, Bharatanatyam and Odissi dancer, and I just love to dance. What had happened is until even the last month before coming to the Netherlands, I was very much into dancing. And then suddenly everything stopped as soon as I landed in the Netherlands. And priorities change, lifestyles change. I was more into traveling, looking into the new place, trying to settle down. It was actually somehow it went backseat. But then down the line, and I would say especially this sudden urge arose when Dishan was born, that he really, really wanted to go back to dancing. Maybe because I was also, just growing fat uncontrollably. But yeah, anyway, so with that, about, I guess in 2015, I started up this dance group of mine that is called Bong Beats. And we are really a group of passionate dancers who do a lot of different forms of dance, especially Indian classical dance, folk dance, but then also we try to do a lot of fusion. And with this, I'm very glad that I have a very big network of women or female fellow people back from India, be it the Bengalis or also from the various other different states of India. So that's something which keeps me super busy.
Interesting. And do you do shows? Do you take shows or it's just like things that you do socially?
No. We do perform. in a lot of different platforms. For example, of course, in Hoichoi, we perform in all the different programs put forth by Hoichoi, but then also we perform at Diwali festival, at the Indian Embassy, then at the multiple other summer festivals that goes on, plenty of different platforms. I think when we started, it wasn't also such a big plethora of events happening. So there was quite a few, but yeah, whenever there was, we actually became quite famous after a couple of years due to all these different shows that we did. And then I think COVID struck. That was really, really quite a gloomy time for us performers, artists who...
Sure.
I think we only get that energy by performing on stage, not online, because it connect with the audience doesn't really happen. So that was really a dull moment for us. As Team Bong Beats, we tried to again go with the flow, and like how the entire world of dancers had been doing, we also performed online, but somehow that didn't click.
Okay.
Because it's not like we are completely professional dancers and only dance, right? It's also a time to bond for friendship. So we have fun, we have food, we have, laughter, joy during the rehearsals. Since that didn't happen, so 2 years was quite a lull. But after that, again, things have started up and we are back full on.
Okay. So you do perform at many events. So I'm sure our viewers will probably see you and your group Bong Beats at some event. So make sure to catch them out.
Thank you.
And you mentioned Hoichoi, and let's go back to the start of the episode where you mentioned that you are well known the both of you are well known in the community, and I think a lot of it is in part to Hoichoi. So what is Hoichoi?
So Hoichoi started in 2015 with this whole concept of getting fellow people around us together. So at some point, I remember when we came to Amstelveen and when we came to Netherlands, we hardly knew people. And we used to long for people from India, from Calcutta, just to speak a bit in Hindi, bit in Bengali, but there were hardly people, right? There were few months we haven't seen any Indians at some point. But then we started knowing more people. We made our first set of friends here, and then friends attracted more friends. So then we started realizing there's a big group of Indians in pockets here and there within this area. So we started thinking about why don't we bring them together to have a kind of a festival together, or let's celebrate something, or even if not anything, sit together, have a good food, and have some discussions, what we call as in Bengali adda. Together. And then this whole concept started. We were sitting with a group of 5 friends including me, and then we started thinking about why don't we start celebrating one of the upcoming events and try to see how many people wants to join us. So that was the start of Hoichoi, and it was initially it was designed to be very small to start with. We started doing only what we call as Poila Boishakh events, the Bengali New Year. But it was not restricted at all only to Bengalis. Oriya people used to join us. Also a lot of people from India who were interested about or who likes good food and have fun together, they used to join. And then we also started doing what we call as Bija Shammilani, which just happens after puja, right? So after puja, typically Bengalis will come together and then celebrate the kind of the end of the puja together. So that
And this puja you're referring to is the Durga
is the
Puja.
Durga Puja. So we started doing these two events, and then we started gaining more and more popularity over time. More and more people started joining us. At some point, we used to do events with 80, 100 people. At some point, we were doing events with 300 people. And then we suddenly realized that this Durga Puja is something which is very vast and which is also very complex, right? So we initially didn't wanted to start with it because it was so big, and we thought that can we manage it. But when we started doing bigger events, we got this confidence that let's start Durga Puja also. And then there were a lot of people who were living in this neighborhood or in this region. So we thought, why don't we then have something here which can, let's say, cater to the local people, at least people in the neighborhood, to attend some puja like this. So we started Durga Puja 2017 was it? And then it instantly became a hit, and then hit means it attracted a lot of people, right? So we are now, let's say, we attract roughly around 3,000 people during the whole puja. So it's a 4-day, 5-day program. People have food with us. They come from various parts of, let's say, even outside of Netherlands. People come from Belgium and Germany, also from UK at times, though they have their pujas, but still they visit us sometimes. And then it has gained a lot of popularity. Today we are one of the biggest Durga Pujas in Europe, and then it attracts a huge amount of people. We do a lot of preparation work. There's a committee of 20 plus families who helps us organizing this, and also huge amount of volunteers. Okay. We cook our own food, so it's something to mention. But it's something that we have started, and we enjoy it, and we are very passionate about it. And I think one important thing is that we not only do events, but also do a lot of stuff to give back to the community back in India where we came from. So as part of our whole journey, whatever we earn, we try to give back to India during the times of need. So there was Amphan, a storm that hit Bengal at that time. We tried to help. There was COVID. We tried to help. We ran programs to build schools in India to help underprivileged kids to able to study. So we try to do our bit. Of course, we cannot solve.
Sure. No, I mean, I want to talk a little bit more about that, but before that, I just want to make sure that our audiences know what Durga Puja is. I'm sure most of them do, but Durga Puja essentially is a celebration of Ma Durga and is a celebration of good over evil. And the Durga Puja celebrations of Kolkata have been inscribed in the UNESCO Cultural Heritage inscription. So go check it out, go read about it. And coming back to Hoichoi, coming back to Durga Puja. By the way, Hoichoi, let's start with Hoichoi. I mean, there's an OTT platform by the name Hoichoi. Are you related to them, by the way?
No. Absolutely not. But it's a strange thing. I think we both had our names almost at the same time. And even the chief minister, she visited us once here, and she also got confused. She also asked the same question, are you guys related? And we were not, right? So Hoichoi means that fun in a kind of in a bit of a loud manner, right? So Hoichoi means having a bit of laughter together, which will also, it's not very quiet, right? It's not that, it's something a fun thing, but which is also got a kind of a loud connotation to it. That's what Hoichoi means. So when we started this organization, we thought that we are a bunch of people at that time around 33, 34-ish. We wanted to have fun. That was the whole purpose, to make new friends and to make some noise together. So we thought that this is the apt name to it.
Okay. So
that's how at least we gave the name Hoichoi. And then eventually in parallel, somebody thought alike and they gave this, so it was SVF, Sri Venkatesh Films in Calcutta, which is one of the major production houses. And then their OTT platform, they launched as Hoichoi.
So, but you launched it first?
Yes.
We launched it first, yes.
Okay, so you get the credit.
Yes, we should.
Okay, good to hear, good to know. While I'm glad to hear about all of the social work that you carry as part of the Hoichoi platform, and of course you're part of it as well. Mm-hmm. But I think from what I understand, and it could be wrong, but right now, I think over the years, the prime focus has been on the celebration of the Durga Puja. That's one of the big things that happens as part of Hoichoi. Why, I mean, when you started Hoichoi, I think it was more about sort of getting friends together. So why the focus on Durga Puja? Because Durga Puja there is a Durga Puja celebration that's happening, that was happening in the Netherlands. I know now there are many more. So I think you are one of the first or the second ones that took place. So why the need to launch a new Durga Puja? Why not just go to the puja that was already happening in the Netherlands?
So I think I touched upon this a bit before. So first of all, if you just giving a bit of context to the viewers, right? So Durga Puja is something that people have it very locally, even in India, right? So if you go to Calcutta, it's not that there's one puja, right? So every street in Calcutta will celebrate Durga Puja, and there's fun and enjoyment locally, and it's for people to bond together in that neighborhood, right? So that's the whole purpose. So when we started, we had this similar feeling, right? And we used to go to the puja. That used to happen, still happens, right? That was the first puja, and we learnt a lot from our seniors. We used to visit that puja. But at some point, there were a lot of people who were around us, and we always thought about that, okay, if there's such a big mass who goes from one place to another place, traveling, I don't know, 50, 60 kilometers, wearing a sari in a foreign land. So why don't we start something here? Because it's not about having a competition or anything. It's about just, that's the spirit of puja. You bring people together who are in the neighborhood, and you have fun, right? And you enjoy together.
Right.
And I think important to mention is Durga Puja. Puja means a ritual, right? And it's a Hindu ritual. But we celebrate not only for that purpose of rituals, or not only for the purpose of offering our prayers to the God, but also to bring the community together. So I think it's super important that we don't treat puja only as a puja, because the puja that we celebrate, Durga Puja, has got many more connotations to it. For example, it celebrates womanhood, it celebrates good over evil, it celebrates bringing people together, it also gives, let's say, our next generation or kids a sense of what this all means. So
Right.
we don't see it just as a mere puja, we see it much broader than that.
For the record, you explained the puja better than I did, so that's what the puja is all about. But just touching more on it, I mean, now there are more. You are the second, so absolutely, it makes complete sense in terms of how you describe it, because it's local, it's something. But where you stay, which is in Amstelveen, there is more than one puja now. And there are more than one pujas in Almere, there's more than one pujas in The Hague. So how do you see this expansion? Does it make sense to you? Does it not make sense? I mean, and I think there's an aspect that you can talk about. There's a little bit of commercialization of it as well. So how do you look at these two, the expansion and commercialization of Durga Pujas? Do you sort of recognize it? Do you feel like, yeah, this is right or wrong?
We of course recognize it. I think how I see it, I see having multiple pujas help, right? So first of all, puja is something where we want all Bengalis, or not only Bengalis, people from Odisha, people from Eastern India who celebrates Ma Durga, to come out and then enjoy this period together. I think if you do it in one corner, you will only be able to reach out to certain people. When this happens in all corners, more and more people are aware of it. And I think overall, we think that having multiple pujas, when we started, there was another puja also in Amstelveen which started. And I think we think it this way, that it helps us to gain more people during the pujas, right? So I think we market together, and together we are able to reach out to more people, and I think it's beneficial for both of us. And then that's the same thing that happens if you go to a food stall in India. There are multiple food stalls on the same street, right? I don't think, like even business wise, right? I should not call it business, but let's say from a attraction point of view, it doesn't, like, people would rather prefer to go into that place and visit one and then go to the other one, right? So we see it that way, that it helps. And of course, you mentioned there's a financial aspect to it. We do set up a puja in a huge scale, so we had to make sure that we can get that money or get that fund, because let's say our puja is 50,000 euros, right? Roughly. So every year we spend around 50,000 euros setting up this whole place, making sure everything is arranged, getting food for all of us. So we have to raise this fund. So we raise it through our sponsors, but we raise it also through registrations coming through people. So we of course depend on people who visit us. The more the people, we can lower the registration amount, so that it's a benefit of scale. So, yeah.
How do you see it? Do you see it differently? Do you see it similarly?
Yes, I think somewhat similar, but I'm also of the opinion that the number of Indians over the last few years have increased like dramatically. Now, especially in Amstelveen, I don't even have to speak even English, it's Hindi or even Bengali, so there. And I guess you can also understand that by the number of Indian shops, the grocery stores, restaurants, etc., that have also opened up in the past. And personally, I'm also not that extrovert, and so whenever I go to any particular festival where there is a lot of people, I somehow don't mingle that well. I believe there is a certain mass of people who are also similar like me, so who would prefer to use that opportunity for networking. And of course, that's one of the main things for Durga Puja. We have got our best of friends during the pujas, and we're super happy about it. We have a huge social circle thanks to the Durga Puja part. So I think that's also because people cannot connect to that personal level when there are so many people around, and it has happened over the past years also. So with Hoichoi, it's always so very crowded, busy, that is very hard also sometimes to even have a seat, properly when certain days, not always. So I guess all of these things together make people also long for something which is local, and especially it happens around the month of October, November. So it's like very, very cold. It's mainly raining. So using the public transport, coming all decked up because people want to be decked up during the pujas. So I guess a lot of practical reasons have made people do this choice. So if it was all just one single city and everyone lived close together, then I believe maybe it wouldn't have happened. But now it's like, it's just a necessity, and we also see it as okay, fine. I believe we will also be having some kind of Calcutta feeling wherein you hop pandals.
Right.
So it comes with the pandal hopping thing. So that's something I guess we all are also looking forward to. But definitely our puja being ours, we will definitely focus time and effort in that. But once that's done, hopefully we'll have some other pujas being extended for a day or so, or even starting prior, which we can pay a nice visit.
Makes sense. And I recognize what you're saying, because the Indian population, I think globally, but specifically in the Netherlands, has grown over a period of time. And I think COVID has expedited the fact that people have moved from, say, Amsterdam or Amstelveen to cities outside. So so you have people sort of moving out. So it does make sense what you say. So let's do one thing. Let's play a small game where I'm going to say a few words, and you will say the first thing that comes to your mind when I say that word.
Sure.
Sure.
Let's first do it with you, and then we do it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Different
Okay.
words.
One after the other.
But I'm going to ask you like 3 words, 3 or 4,
Okay.
and then we'll switch over to him and we play the same game with him.
Is it a competition?
No, not really. I mean, we can make it a competition if you would like.
Sure that you do it slower
So
than
it's like it's like to get the hamper for the coffee.
We unfortunately do not have a hamper, but no, not for this one. We have hampers for other things, but for this is just to see. So let's.
Okay.
Hoichoi,
passion,
Dishan,
love,
dance,
life,
Kolkata,
family,
and Calcutta.
childhood.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. Now for you, Dishan,
Life.
Durga Puja,
Love.
Mona Lisa.
Painting.
I would have guessed you would have said Moulisa, but apparently not. The painting, all right.
That was a good one.
This is the only reason we played this game.
Exactly.
No, that's just a joke. Paris,
City.
not Mbappe, not Dishan.
No,
All right.
not for me.
Thank you for that. Yours was not as rapid, so you are the winner.
Yeah.
Though there's no hamper, you are the winner, so I give that to you.
Thank you.
Moulisa, DN, you guys, as we mentioned this a few times, you are well known in the community. You've got a big social circle. So do you have like a lot of friends that you party with? Well, party in the sense that meet, socialize over food and drinks. Is that
Yes.
something that you do regularly?
Yes, like every single weekend cannot go without meeting the friends. And our kids are also, I think, growing up with the same mentality. So by the time it's Friday morning, he's already asking, Mama, when is the party starting? And if we do not have anything, that would be a problem, you know. But yeah, we are having like almost every weekend, or we also have trips, vacations planned with our friends who have become more than family to us now.
Okay. Kids are growing up differently than what I remember back in the day.
Exactly.
Where's the party?
Yeah, exactly. If I would have asked this a party every day, my parents would be like, "What's wrong with this guy?" Anyway, but so you have guests over at home and all of that.
Yes, in fact, today after some time we're having
Oh, yeah.
guests.
So then you're very busy. You're hosting us now, and then you're hosting us. So
Yeah.
who does like who is sort of who's the life of the party? He's the life of the party. Okay.
No,
I mean, between us.
I think we should make it clear. Like life
Yeah.
of the party, if you talk about drinks and stuff, I take care of that, right? And of course, we try to do some fun things. Let's say maybe video games together or playing a fun game together. She mostly takes care of the apart from the drinks, the other parts of the hospitality, food and everything, and make sure the hosts are comfortable. But yeah, I take care of certain things which are close to me automatically.
Okay, but so she's in charge of the cooking.
Yes.
You're in charge of the drinks.
Yes.
Okay.
Mostly. You can
Mostly,
yeah.
Okay. And from what I hear is that you are a master bartender because you're good at making mocktails and cocktails. Or at least that's what I hear.
So I should not call master, but let's say something which I picked up I think during the COVID period, and then I started. Before that, I still used to make drinks, but during the COVID, I started watching some videos, and I started getting into it more and more, mixing and testing different stuff. And then since then, let's say I try to make a drink or two whenever guests are visiting us. Sometimes some classical mocktails, and then mostly because there's also kids and a lot of people nowadays don't drink, or let's say women's mostly in our community typically don't drink. So we also, let's say, mostly make mocktails, and then so we came up with, let's say, at least I try to mix a lot of flavors and see if I can create something new.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. So now let's do one thing. So since you say all of this, now I'm intrigued because I would like to taste some of these mocktails that you make. But since you spoke about the hamper a little while earlier on the rapid fire, which we didn't have, we have a hamper for something else. Why don't we test DN's mocktail making skills?
Awesome.
Oh God.
Good.
But the twist of the game, or the twist in the game, is that he's going to make the mocktail. I'm going to sip it as well. But you've got to sip it, or taste it, or drink it, whatever you like,
Okay.
and let us know what that mocktail is.
Oh.
So-
it
so-
depends on
so-
me to get the
Well,
hamper.
I'll
Okay.
judge if it's good or not. That's fine. You tell me the name,
Okay.
and if you manage to tell
Yeah.
names of, can you make 5 mocktails for us?
Yeah, let's see.
Okay.
Let's see.
Let's-
I don't think I'm ready to. I've got all the ingredients with me, but let's see how many I can make up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say he makes 5 mocktails,
Yeah.
and if you can identify 3 of those,
Yeah.
you get a gift. So he is going to make the mocktails, but you get the gift.
It's
How
a
does
tough
how does that
one, But it
sound?
sounds exciting, but it's a tough one. I'll do my best, but
So-
definitely let's
And I
play
think a
it.
disclaimer for our viewers, because as I mentioned, I try to innovate things, right? So some of them might be classical, some of them might be a bit off the track. So
Yeah,
to
so-
make it fair, I
Although
think
I'll say
if you
it's
can,
DN's
yeah.
So
cocktail
let's do it
mocktail.
this way. So what we're going to do is that you decide on what mocktails you're going to make. We'll give all of the 5. Well, if they have a
Yeah.
classical name, they have a name, or we give them a name,
Yeah.
and then she has to choose from the 5
Yeah.
names. So let's simplify it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not like the wide world of cocktails, but you have 5 cocktails or mocktails that Dean's going to make. We give you all of the names, and you need to tell us which of those 5.
Oh,
are.
super.
Yeah, perfect. So
Good.
let's go try
Thank
to play
you.
for that hamper.
Yes.
Yes,
All
let's
right.
do it.
Let's do it.
So Dean, I saw you making the cocktails. You were like a master creating art. These look wonderful, wonderful.
Hopefully it tastes wonderful as well.
I have my straw. I'm going to taste them in just a bit. It's delicious. It is actually. So let's call Moulisa and have her guess the cocktails.
Absolutely.
The mocktails.
Yes, let's play.
Moulisa,
Yes.
welcome to the bar.
Thank you.
So DN has been a master at work and has prepared these 5 wonderful cocktails. I've tasted one of them and it's very, very good. So I'm sure the rest are equally good. As we said, the rules of the game is that you've got to guess 3 of these 5 cocktails correctly. And if you are able to guess 3 of them right, you can win one of these 2 surprises.
Oh, wow.
So I keep these gifts here and I'll tell you what the gifts are, what you're playing for. So in one of the bags we have, one of these boxes, bags, whatever you call them, we have a bag or a purse from Michael Kors, classic American, fashion brand. And in another bag we have a watch from Fossil, another classic American fashion brand.
Awesome.
So that's what you're playing for.
Sounds great. Now I just have to win it.
Yes, you just have to win it.
Hope you guess it right.
So I'm going to tell you the names of these 5 cocktails in random order. So we have Mango Chili Punch, we have Blue Lagoon, we have Ruh Afza Punch, we have Virgin Mojito, and we have a Virgin Moscow Mule. Do you want me to repeat them for you?
No, I guess it's okay.
Okay, so
Let me start.
yeah,
from
of course, you
the
go for the
easy one.
easiest one.
Yeah. Right?
Absolutely correct.
Then I'll go for the next one.
And
This one's so yummy.
all right, I want to drink it too.
Yeah, you should. This is the mango chili punch.
All right, you've got 2 right. So all you need is 1 right.
Okay.
What do you think that is?
Moscow Mule.
Moscow Mule, of course. Indeed, you've got 3 right. Do you want to try the other 2 and guess it? You got the gift. So that's
I've got the gift, so it's okay, right?
you should
I'll
try-
leave those 2.
I think you should try this. I tried it and it was yum. So maybe you want to try it and give your verdict on how good or how bad it is.
This is very nice.
And what do you think it is?
It's a Ruh Afza. I can
The
have-
punch.
Yeah, the punch.
Indeed, and that is
Yeah. And
the
this one, well, it's only 1 left, but
yes, of course. But you never know. Maybe it's a trick one.
very good. It's a mojito, virgin mojito.
Wonderful. You've got all 5 right. So
Nice.
good job. So it shows that you guys work together. Also in entertaining your guests. So wonderful.
Yay.
Wonderful. So congratulations. By the way, before we go into the gifts, how do you think DN did as a bartender?
I think it's pretty good.
All right. So that's the verdict. I think so too. So good job, DN. Good
And
job.
I love this one. So I've never actually tasted this one earlier. For the rest, I did more or less. Coming
Maybe you
from
should
this
share
bar.
the receipie of the chili mango punch or the mango chili punch with
Yeah,
all of us.
yeah, why not?
We
So
can treat you to this.
Yeah.
sounds
Don't
like
share
a
the recipe, just treat.
look at that. Look at that. Keeping the secrets in house. All right.
Secret.
Perfect. So Moulisa, you have won one of these gifts. So
Awesome.
which one do you choose?
I'll go with the Michael Kors first.
You can't. You have to
Yeah,
choose
you
one of the
have to
bags.
choose one of these.
So I know now that you won the Michael Kors
Yeah,
bag
let's
and not the
see.
watch.
Yeah.
But which one would you choose? You can't. Yeah, that's not fair. That's not fair.
Left or the right?
I don't know. I'll just go with one. Maybe this one.
You go with this one.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I hope it's the Michael Kors bag. Wow. What do you think it is?
You said wow.
All
So I
right.
think it
We
is-
have.
Where's the purse?
Oh.
We have a purse from Michael Kors for you, thanks to all of the wonderful cocktails that DN has made today. So let me get this out. Let me get the packaging out. Oh, it's
Oh,
a beautiful
wow.
color. So that's Michael Kors purse for Moulisa. Matches the color of her dress, matches the color of the drink.
The rules are
So
right.
congratulations on
Thank
the purse.
you. Thank you. Thanks for the gift.
You're most welcome. All the effort was DN,
Thanks,
so
guys.
thank you so much for playing this game. As we move forward, we were talking a lot about Dishan, right? We spoke about how Dishan changed a lot of things for you in life. Also how it changed the perception of what the medical system is in the Netherlands. How about we invite Dishan to join us and play a small little game together as a family?
Yeah, I think it's
Sure, he's a bit shy. Let's see.
No problem. We'll see how that works.
Yeah.
Let's call Dishan
Okay.
and let him join us. Dishan, welcome to the show. How are you feeling? So I see you're wearing a PSG t-shirt or PSG jersey. Are you a PSG fan?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite player?
MLP.
Oh really? Do you play football? And what do you play as?
Striker.
You're a striker. Wow. Do you score a lot of goals?
Yeah.
How many goals have you scored? Wow. Would you like to show us a skill? Is there a special skill that you have?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Rainbow.
Wow. Would you like to show that to us?
Yeah.
Perfect. DN, Moulisa, Dishan, it has been a pleasure talking to you the whole day, especially about the Durga Puja. That was like just a different. I would like to have a more deeper conversation about it, but in view of time, in the paucity of time, we'll skip to the next part. But for our viewers, we plan to do a special episode that's dedicated to all of the Durga Pujas that are happening in the Netherlands. We know that there are about 10 Durga Pujas that happen in the Netherlands this year, and so we'll have a special episode that covers just that topic. So now, since you're all here on the table, how about we play a small family game
Yes.
with the yes, oh, very good. So how about we play a game where you work as a family and you can win one of these two wonderful gifts that we have on offer for you. Again, a surprise. Do you like gifts?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to lay them on the table. So the two gifts that we have for this part of the game, we have a gift from a foundation called the Cheerful Child. It's a shawl or a stole, and the foundation believes in bringing a smile to every child's face. So that's the mantra of the foundation. In the other bag, we have a gift from Sa Naturals, which makes handmade bath and beauty products from natural ingredients. So I think really two nice products which have a nice background and story to it. Yeah?
Nice.
Perfect. And now I'm going to explain to you the game. So the game is called it's a memory game. It's called the shopping list game or the grocery list game. So I have a list of 10 items on my grocery list. I'm going to, sorry?
Is it too tough?
It's not very tough. It's very easy. I'm sure you'll get all of them right. So it has 10 items. I'm going to let you know the item that I want to buy, the quantity of that item, and the shop from where I'm going to buy it or from where I need to buy it. And I'm going to tell that for each of the 10 items that I have on my list. You've got to memorize it and read it out back to me. If you can get 6 of the 10 things on my list right, you can win one of these prizes.
Wow. Let's try.
Yeah? Shall we go?
Yes.
Are you set?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to tell you what's on my list. So my shopping list for today, I have 1 bottle of Head and Shoulders shampoo from Target. The next item on my shopping list is 2 curtains from Marks and Spencer. Then I have 6 boxes of hummus from the Albert Heijn. I have 4 bottles of Roux Afza for that wonderful mocktail from Hyper City. I have 3 packs of noodles from Oriental. I have 1 strip of paracetamol from Ethos for the wonderful healthcare system of the Netherlands. I have a watch from the Apple Store. I have 2 bunches of spinach from the Friendly Farmers Market. I have 5 stems of orchids from the Intratown. And I have 1 kg of chicken from the Tesco. So that makes it 10 items on my shopping list. I'm sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. I mean, it's 10 items with different amount of.
What was the last one?
The last one was a kilogram of chicken from the Tesco. So, are you ready to
Yes.
memorize? And well, you've already memorized it. So, repeat it back to me. Who wants to start?
So, kilogram of chicken from the
Of course, DN.
Of course.
Dishan, yeah.
Yes.
Watch from Apple Store.
Hey, high
good
five!
job.
Wonderful.
Now tell me, 1 bottle of Head and Shoulders shampoo from Target.
Very good. You got
Two cartons from Mark and Spencer.
Very good.
And then 2 bunches of spinach from Farmers Market.
yes.
And what else? You have 6 bottles of boxes of hummus from Albertine.
Very good.
And then you have Roux Afza from 4 bottles of Roux Afza. And it was from Hypercity.
Very good.
And what else we have? So we had, I think I was only trying to mention 6, and I think we have got 6.
You've got 7 already, but there are 3 more to go. Would you want to give it a shot?
Spinach with it.
The spinach is done. Guys, you're forgetting the paracetamol.
1 strip of paracetamol from Itos.
Okay.
Yeah.
The orchids. I completely forgot where it is from.
Intertown.
Intertown, okay.
So we had 5 stems of orchids from the Intertown. We have 1 more to go. You already won the gift, but just for
What is that one?
the noodles.
The noodles.
Oriental.
Oh yeah.
But how many packets? 6 packets.
No.
1 packet.
No.
4.
No. Now we can take numbers.
How many packets of noodles was it?
5 packets.
I completely
3.
forgot. Okay. Oh,
Well done. You got 7 of them right. And then, of course, with a little bit prompting, you got all of them right, of course. So congratulations.
but
Nisha,
we
you won.
Well done.
High five as a team.
High five.
High five, Moulisa team. Yes.
Well done, guys. Well done. So, 2 gifts.
You choose, Nisha.
Would you like to choose?
A shawl from the Cheerful Child.
A cheerful child or bath and beauty
From
product from
Sa
Sa
Naturals.
Naturals? This one? All right. Let me open it up for you and let's see what we've got. All right. You've got, I think, a wonderful shawl from Cheerful Child. So this is the shawl. I think very beautiful, handmade, hand embroidered. So that's the shawl, and that's
Very nice.
the Cheerful
Good job.
Child.
Yeah.
So you can read all about the Cheerful Child and enjoy this store. I think mostly you, Moulisa, but but I'm sure the others can as well.
Yeah.
So that's your gift. Thank you for playing this
Thank
game with
you.
us. Appreciate it.
A lot.
And this is for you as well. Once again, thank you, Dia and Moulisa,
Thanks,
Dishan, for welcoming us to your house and sharing your story, talking to us, and having just a wonderful chat this afternoon.
Nan, thanks for having us in your show. I think we enjoyed it. I can speak from my behalf, and I think we had a wonderful afternoon / evening. But I enjoyed every bit of it. Well
Thank-
done and well coordinated.
Thank-
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna put the airplane also.
Okay.
Yeah, let's play that game as well. Thank you so much, guys,
Thank
and
you.
good luck.